Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation for today's symposium, where I want to talk to you just a bit about how I use therapeutic photography, um, or how I've used it in a current program of mine called the Autistic Child and Caregiver Photography Program. Um, Before I get started, just want to let you know a little bit about me. I am the founder of Project Kids and Cameras, which is a social enterprise um, where I work with children and youth around ages 5 to 18, where I use participatory photography-based methods and techniques um, to to encourage children to explore the world around them through photography. Um, Now, this particular program that I'm currently running is, as you can see, called the Autistic Child and Caregiver Photography Program, and it was a 5-session program that engaged autistic children with their caregivers, which were mainly their either a parent, their mother, or their father. Um, and I was contracted by Autism Ontario to design this program, and I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to try to begin to incorporate some of the therapeutic photography techniques and methods that I use, especially around the use of certain prompts to get the participants to begin to maybe build some self-esteem, some self-efficacy, some agency in their voice in and around the way that they discuss the photos that they took throughout the program. Um, so what I wanted to focus on is for those of you who are interested in incorporating therapeutic photography in your programs, I think that some of the questions that you could begin to ask yourself are the following. I think this will um, help you decide whether or not therapeutic photography is a good fit for your program. Maybe you're not using any type of therapeutic methods at this point. But if you are interested in doing some, I think some of the questions that you would need to ask yourself are the following. So, for example, what are the benefits of therapeutic photography for your program? Um, how can you begin to infuse some of the program goals and objectives, some of your program goals and objectives using therapeutic photography elements? And you can see that I abbreviated here, it's for TP to keep it short. Um, Also, another question you should be asking yourself is how can you best facilitate discussion um, of your participants' photos using therapeutic photography as a guiding method? Um, and also, eventually, something that we would probably need to consider as teaching artists is how will you evaluate and measure your program impact using the therapeutic photography approach? So these are things that I'm still exploring, and these are things that I'm increasingly interested in incorporating into some of the program that I do with my Project Kids and Cameras enterprise. So moving along, I wanted to just give you a sense as to my the philosophy that I have for my programs and how I feel that and why I feel that therapeutic photography or the elements of therapeutic photography are a good fit. So, and I'll go through these quickly because you'll be able to read them later. But for example, the first one is in my programs, I always provide cameras to participants. And in therapeutic photography, um, you know, the idea is that by creating photos that participants are proud of, you begin to help them build some self-esteem. Also, the fact that they receive positive feedback from others helps them to become more confident and comfortable in expressing their opinion, thoughts, and their personal stories with each other. Um, Secondly, my belief is that we learn better in an environment of low stress and high challenge. And I think that therapeutic photography is a perfect fit for this because therapeutic photography can engage participants of various abilities and capacities in the pursuit of self-esteem and self-efficacy. Um, I think therapeutic photography lends itself to a very low stress exploration of chosen themes and topics and allows for various participation entry points. So not everybody is comfortable sharing, you know, personal stories right away. but through therapeutic photography, we can sort of begin to build that safe environment where hopefully and eventually participants will feel comfortable doing so. Um, and a few more points along that that vein. Number three is that I believe that all of us are innately searching for meaning in our lives, and therapeutic photography allows for several ways in which we can explore meaning and intention. Um, the story behind any particular image that we share within a safe group environment. Um, and sharing our personal stories as expressed in our images, along with the peer-to-peer feedback, helps to again strengthen, self-esteem, self-efficacy, and ultimately, I would say, some agency and voice. Um, Number four, I've always believed that um, we need time for personal reflection. And in therapeutic photography, um, individuals assess how they're feeling, and identify and gain insight on any emotional responses connected to the images that they are capturing. And again, being able to share this is also key. Um, so I just wanted to very briefly just show you some pictures that were captured um, by some of the children and their caregivers, and I'll just leave this here for a second so that you can have a look at the images and also some of the words that were provided by each of these participants. And I'll move on to this one, the second one here. So again, you can see that these were some of the images that the participants took and that ultimately we discussed together as a group, um, using therapeutic photography as a guiding method in terms of um, facilitating a conversation around those images, that's done in a very sort of, again, safe environment where everyone is listened to and everyone is heard. And lastly, you can look at this one quickly. So in this particular one, I'll just comment that Elijah, I'm sorry, I don't have all the ages, but Elijah took a picture of his couch. And Elijah is autistic with limited verbal skills. And you can see that he took this picture because he explained to us that he enjoys watching TV and browsing the internet using his cell phone while lying on his couch in his home. So this is a special place for him, and he was very proud to share this image with everyone. And for this one here, I just want you to maybe take a screenshot, or you can see that there is a link to a SoundCloud in which the participants submitted audio recordings that I uploaded to a SoundCloud playlist so that they also had an opportunity to practice verbally, just articulating, describing some of the images that they chose to be submitted for a photo exhibit that we were going to do at the end of the program. And this is just a picture of Sydney with his service dog Winston. Okay, so moving quite along, I think I only have about a minute. I think it's very key for you if you are interested in incorporating therapeutic photography approach, that you have a strong grasp on how to show, share, discuss photos, um, and and that you're doing that with the intention of helping to build self-esteem, self-efficacy, empowerment, and ultimately resilience in each of your participants. So, my observations so far, the approach for me has worked quite well. I still feel like I'm a bit of a novice in really trying to fully integrate it while also, um, integrating some other methods that I use, like literacy through photography and photo voice, but I think that they all complement each other. And so I hope to continue observing how using therapeutic photography can have an impact on reaching the goals and objectives of my particular program. Engagement has been incredible. The fact that participants can show and share pictures that they took is something that's quite something to see. You could have an autistic individual come in who will not speak at all at the beginning of the course, and then is making friends and is quite open and expressive with some of the things that they feel are important to them. So I do feel that it can be well adapted to mm, almost just about any type of photography program where you are working in a participatory setting. Um, so there you have it. I want to thank you so much for listening to me. And I just left some of my contact information here because I'm always very happy and willing to connect with other teaching artists, photographers that are interested in doing the same thing. To me, that's key, that we can stay connected as a community ourselves, especially when it comes to learning how to incorporate therapeutic photography in the work that we do moving forward. So here's some contact information for you. Thank you so much. Feel free to reach out to me, and thank you so much for listening. Have a good day.